Hello students, hope you all are well. Welcome to the channel Easy Recall. This channel is programmed for the purpose of helping the students to do regular revision and memorize properly all the subjects following the books of different boards. You can choose the videos related to your boards and the subjects and books which you follow to complete your syllabus. You can send your books in PDF format in my email ID so that I can make a revision and recall video from it. Kindly do not send personal study notes or private tuition notes. Only send books in PDF format to my Gmail ID banerjeeandula@gmail.com. Thank you for listening carefully. Let's start now today's subject. Concise Biology ICSE Part 2 Class 10 Revised and Enlarged by H.S. Bisnoy, University of Delhi, edited by Miss Mary Fernandez and Dr. Preeti Srivastava, Selina Publishers Private Limited. Unit 1 Basic Biology, Chapter 2 Structure of Chromosomes, Cell Cycle and Cell Division. In the chapter Syllabus, Cell Cycle and Cell Division, Structure of Chromosomes, Scope of Syllabus, Cell Cycle, Interphase, G1, S, G2 and Meiotic Phase, Cell Division, Mitosis and its stages, a basic understanding of meiosis as a reduction division, stages not required, a brief idea of homologous chromosomes and crossing over leading to variations, significance and major differences between meiotic and meiotic division, basic structure of chromosome with elementary understanding of terms such as chromatin, chromatid, gene structure of DNA and centromere. Now at first we will know about the cell division. Cell division is one of the most fundamental characteristics of life. This is the method which enables life to perpetuate generation after generation. This is equally true in the case of the simplest organisms like amoeba as in the highly complex ones such as ourselves or the giant-sized elephants or the tall coconut tree. The most conspicuous events occurring during cell divisions are all related to chromosomes. The duplicated chromosomes get evenly distributed into the daughter cells during mitosis. Thus, all body cells that are the result of a long chain of repeated meiotic divisions have the same type of chromosomes in the same number. This ensures the normal functioning of the cells and through that the life of the organism. Now, what are chromosomes? When a normal unstained living cell is observed under a light microscope, its nucleus may not appear to contain any particular thing inside. But when the same cell is stained with suitable dyes, several structures become noticeable in the nucleus. The nucleus contains most of the cell's DNA, which is organized into discrete units called chromosomes. Each chromosome contains one long DNA molecule associated with many proteins. This complex of DNA and proteins is called the chromatin. When a cell is not dividing, the chromatin under an electron microscope appears to be in the form of a very long and extremely thin darkly stained fiber. However, as a cell prepares to divide, the chromatin fibers coil and condense further, eventually becoming thick enough to be distinguished as separate chromosomes. These chromosomes then readily pick up certain dyes and get colored. Hence the name chromosomes. Chroma means colored and soma means body. Chromosomes are highly coiled and condensed chromatin fibers. Now we will know about the discovery of chromosomes. Chromosomes in animals were first studied in 1882 by a German scientist, Walter Fleming. He noticed these in the rapidly dividing cells of the larvae of salamander, an amphibian. The microscope he used was of old type, and through it he saw minute threads that appeared to be dividing lengthwise. Fleming called their division mitosis, literally meaning thread. Subsequently, with the help of more powerful microscopes and by using special techniques, the chromosomes and their constituents have been studied in great detail. Now, what is chromatin? The chromatin material that constitutes the fiber is formed of two substances. First, DNA, whose full form is deoxyribonucleic acid, about 40%, and second is histones, a particular type of protein, about 60%. Now, what is the molecular structure of DNA? The shape of the DNA molecule was first studied by Rosalind Franklin in 1953. However, the structure was finally worked out by Watson and Crick in the same year. They proposed the double-stranded helical structure of DNA, for which they were awarded the Nobel Prize in 1962. A single DNA molecule is very large, and hence it is described as a macromolecule. It is composed of two complementary strands wound around each other in a double helix. Each single DNA strand is composed of repeating nucleotides, which are made of three components: phosphate, sugar or pentose, arranged lengthwise, and a nitrogenous base attached to the sugar inwards, which extends to join by a hydrogen bond the complementary nitrogenous base from the other strand. Thus, the two strands together make a ladder-like arrangement, with the nitrogenous bases forming the rungs of the ladder. Four types of nitrogenous bases are found in the DNA. These are adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine. Adenine pairs with thymine with two hydrogen bonds, while guanine pairs with cytosine with three hydrogen bonds. Now see the pictures in the books carefully and try to follow. See the figure number 2.3. Now, what is histone proteins? Histones are the proteins that help in the coiling and packaging of DNA into structural units called nucleosomes. The DNA strand winds around a core of 8 histone proteins called the histone octamer. Each such complex is called a nucleosome. An individual nucleosome can be imagined like a football, around which a long rope is wound with one or two loops. A single human chromosome may have about 1,000,000 nucleosomes. Each human cell contains approximately 2 meters of DNA if stretched end to end. However, the nucleus of a human cell is only about 6 μm in diameter. Therefore, the DNA needs to be condensed in order to fit inside the nucleus. The entire chromatin fiber is coiled and supercoiled, something like the coils and supercoils we see in a typical telephone cord. See the figure number 2.4 to eventually form chromosomes. Now see the figure 2.5 given below in your book, which is a highly diagrammatic representation of the sequential condensation of a DNA strand into chromatin fiber and eventually to a chromosome. Now we will know about the structure of chromosomes. Each chromosome in its condensed form as visible during the start of cell division consists of two sister chromatids joined at some point along the length. This point of attachment is called centromere, and it appears as a small constricted region. See the figure number 2.6 in your book. Each chromosome's centromere is located at a particular site. The centromere also serves to attach to the spindle fiber during cell division. As the spindle fiber contracts, the sister chromatids are separated at the centromere, and each is pulled away from the other towards the two poles of the dividing cell. See figure number 2.10, stages D and E in your book. After the completion of cell division, the chromatids, now called chromosomes, decondense and revert to their very long and fine thread-like chromatin fibers. There would be as many chromatin fibers inside the nucleus as the number of chromosomes that appear during cell division. What are genes? Genes are specific sequences of nucleotides on a chromosome that encode particular proteins which express in the form of some particular feature of the body. They are the units of heredity which are transferred from parents to offspring and are responsible for some specific characteristics of the offspring. What is the need for new cells? New cells need to be produced for 1. Growth, 2. Replacement, 3. Repair, and 4. Reproduction. Number 1. For growth. Most organisms, including plants and animals, begin their life as a single cell, the fertilized egg. This cell divides repeatedly to form a cluster of cells which start shaping for different functions to form tissues and organs. Thus, cell division is essential for growth. For replacement, there is always a wear and tear of cells during the normal body functions. For example, 2 million red blood cells in our body are destroyed every second. These are replaced by new cells formed through a division of their parent cells in the bone marrow. In plants, the old and dried leaves fall off and new ones grow out. For repair, apart from normal wear and tear of the tissues in the body, there may be accidental injuries. One may get cuts in the skin or fractures in the bone. Repair of such injuries is again through cells which divide, cover up the gaps, and join the broken ends. Now remember this portion. In cell divisions for growth, replacement, and repair, the number of chromosomes remain the same at each division. The chromosomes duplicate and distribute equally in the daughter cells. This kind of division, which occurs in all body cells except in the egg producing oocytes in ovaries and sperm-producing spermatocytes in testes is known as mitosis. For reproduction, reproduction also takes place through the activity of the dividing cells. Amoeba or bacteria just divide to produce two similar independent cells by mitosis. In higher forms, as in humans or in the banyan tree, special cells in the reproductive organs undergo a special kind of cell division called meiosis to produce sperms and eggs. The sperms and eggs receive only half the number of chromosomes of their parent cells, that is, one chromosome from each pair. This reduction in chromosome number is very significant. Now look at the following example in humans in your book. In this chart, kind of cells and chromosomes are stated. Number A, body cells in men 46, that is 23 pairs, and in women 46, 23 pairs. Sex cells, that is sperms and eggs, in man 23 single, in woman 23 single. Fertilized egg 23 in man and 23 in woman. New baby 46, that is 23 pairs. Now what is cell cycle? Divide, grow and redivide. In order for a cell to divide, it must complete several important tasks. The cell must grow, synthesize materials like proteins, RNA, etc., and duplicate its DNA before physically splitting into two daughter cells. Cells perform these tasks in an organized, predictable series of events, which is called the cell cycle.